Hello. Welcome to Don't Be Cinderella. My name is Rowena Kuo, and I have with me two wonderful ladies, Jocelyn Amper Garland and Bleng Manias, and also our faithful and true leader, Odin.
Hey, Odin.
I am here, I think.
You are. We see you.
Hello. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
Hey, so let me have a fun shot at this.
Okay.
What are you girls about? What are you girls about? That's the question. So tell us about yourselves. Go ahead. Y'all know what to do. Y'all do the thing. Do the thing. Teach these people something. They need some intelligence.
All right. Well, I was thinking about let's listen to our personal stories of our Cinderella journey, our Cinderella story of how we started out and where we are now. And so I wanted to start with Amper. Tell us about yourself, Amper.
Hi. So my name is Amper. My real name is Jocelyn, but I go by Amper at work and where I am now. And I'm a physical therapist by background. I'm still practicing in a hospital, but I am gradually transitioning into the financial industry and has helped me a ton. And I look at it as an extension of my mission as a physical therapist, actually. When I work, there gets a point wherein we get to encourage people to still get stronger, because they're not fully conditioned to go back to work or to go back to life itself. And part of that concern is their finances. Now, I can't help a lot with that, but then I go think well, what can I do so that I can help them somehow? Then this industry came along in my life, and then I said, well, maybe I can learn that and help them get prepared 20 years ahead. It really started with my parents. So my parents passed on in 2015. And then, my dad needed surgery. And in the Philippines, for those of you that came from there, there's not a lot of healthcare. So somehow we are fortunate here that there's assistance from the hospitals, assistance from the government in terms of taking care of your healthcare expenses. So I'm thankful for that here. But there, you got to pay out of pocket. It's like the hospital bills are on you. And so, 1.2 million pesos in any currency is quite huge, isn't it? Yeah. But so could you imagine where we have to find that to just save my dad's life? He had to undergo heart surgery. And then so we got that taken care of. We found, help. He had a little bit left. I gave all of my savings. So we're practically buying food here on credit cards because everything that we ever have here is already spent back there. And so I didn't know my mom needed a treatment still because little did we know, when you're in the healthcare, you're kind of oblivious and you don't realize the signs. She actually had cancer when I took her to the hospital, and it was terminal. So the doctor said if we do her biopsy, we got to do the whole treatment. But my dad said, well, we have nothing. And so I couldn't do anything anymore. I wanted to go back here and work and then come back there. But before I even got to that point, she passed on. So I said, losing my mom is a lot of things. And then the reason for losing that is not having any money. So I said, how do I change that narrative for my children? I don't want my children to be in my position at that time. And so I looked for a lot of ways. I looked online. I was so hungry for knowledge and how to get my life straightened out so that story does not become my children's story. And then, Bleng and Lena Grace, a friend of mine, came along, and then, introduced me to further learning. And that's where I found I learned so many things. And now I know, I'm pretty sure that my kids are not going to be in the same place as I was. But yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for
Mhm.
that. And Blang, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm the same. Amber and I are both physical therapists. We're actually college classmates. So
Small
Really?
world.
we're in the same field. We're actually in the same field. I came here in the United States in 2001. So it's been a while. Well, I came here in the US for a greener pasture. No job back home. I was still young back then, but had to come here because I wanted to earn extra money. But then I started working as a therapist, and then I was able to get promoted as a director of therapy in one of the nursing homes that I worked at. So I was practicing for about 17 years. But you know what? Working for such a long time, I work 7 days a week. A lot of bills to pay here, right, Rowena?
Right, right.
It's the same. My story is not the same as Amber's, but but it's the same. It all boils down to being financially literate, right? Because as you work and work and work, I realize I am paying so much taxes also if I do a lot of work. So I thought I had a good job already. But then at the back of my mind, I said, you know what? I think I need to improve my career even more so I can be in competition with the young ones right now, right? Because as I get older, as you get older, um, the competition is a younger age group. So I went back to school, Rowena. Went
Yes.
back to school and studied again. Well, studying here is not free. I have to pay for it. I was hoping that I would get a higher salary. But guess what? Nothing much changed. So I said, then
Ah.
what am I gonna do now? I have two
So
kids.
you're a doctor? You're a doctor
I'm a doctor of physical therapy.
physical therapy.
I graduated in 2017, and that was the time I got introduced here too. And that's what made me realize, oh my gosh, it's not the work because I've been working for such a long time, but not having enough savings. Then I
Ah.
realized that when I got introduced here, I said, this is the solution for my problem. This is the solution, but I was already in my 40s at that time. I only have a few more years left before I retire. So I said,
You
am I
make it
gonna?
sound so dreadful.
Well, I think I'm getting closer to that at that time. I'm in my early 40s at that
Well, yeah,
time.
we don't have to say exactly.
But Rowena, when you're in your early 40s, you
Right,
got to prepare, right? Because
right.
I work in a nursing home. I worked in a nursing home for a while. For a majority of my practice is in a nursing home, and I realized I don't want to end up like they're in a nursing home too. But some of them prepared. Most of them did not. I said, I don't want that. I want to be able to prepare for myself and for my kids too. But I don't want
Right.
my kids to be my retirement plan as well, right? Because it's either I save for them or I save for my own retirement. So I said, I got to do something about this. So a friend of mine from Seattle, Washington, had introduced me to the financial education. The name is Addie and Lay, and it was such a blessing. It was such a blessing that we got introduced here, and that totally changed our life. And the rest was history. I'm not in the therapy world anymore, fully transitioned in the
So you're
financial industry.
retired from physical therapy and all you do now is educate families.
Exactly, because that's what I see the value now. I was helping patients before, but I find this more beneficial. I'm not saying that being a therapist is not a good career. I love that. I'm passionate about being a physical therapist because I help. And that's what I love. But being here in this industry, I help educate more families. At least I'm not just helping one patient, I'm helping a whole family and more families
Right,
now. And
right.
Generations.
it just boils down to financial literacy, and that's how it should be, right? But unfortunately, in the first 17 years of my practice, I did not know much. That's why I'm so passionate about this, Rowena. So yeah, that's my story. So now the mission is really to educate as many families as we can, and being
So
in this.
how do we begin to do that? What steps can we take? Do people have an interest? Do people have an interest in bettering themselves? Nobody wants to think about when they're older. It's that demon that we're running from. How do we get families, or how do we get people to look at their future and make some decisions toward a better path?
You know what? I was like that before too. You know, when I started here, in the beginning, I was just looking for ways on how I can understand, because I know the very basic. You know how I was introduced. It's because of the things that I was looking for at that time, and at that time, my main thing was I wanted to be able to save enough,
Right.
even to be able to retire. Because that's what I said earlier. I'm in a nursing home, and most of them did not prepare. And I said, I don't want that. So now when you talk to people, find something. You gotta find that what we call a hot button. We gotta ask them or see their situation in life and see how you're gonna be able to help them, because you're not gonna do anything wrong. You're just there to help them, but you gotta
Right.
know the situation that they're in for you to be able to help them. And that's the first step, getting to know them, getting to know their situation in life, and find ways, us being a financial professional, find ways on how we can help them, educate them, because I was like that. I did not know anything. You know, when I was asked in the beginning, when I was introduced, they asked me, what do you know about financial industry? I said nothing at all. All I know is just saving in a bank, and you know what they introduce to you at work is just retirement plans. That's all I know. But I did not realize that there's so much more to understand.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Mhm. Also, like, I love your first show, the putting it out there, right? And I think that's one way to do that. Don't you think, Odin? Putting it out there is one way to get the message to everyone. Because when somebody is not aware of, what needs to be done, then it won't come to their awareness. They won't do anything about it.
I'm amazed because there are a lot of people out there that really do not know how to twist and hold a dime.
Right.
They call it for the rainy day, I guess. But I know you ladies are going to be able to point us all in the right direction.
Yeah, there we go. I love that. Yeah, yeah. Yep. We did an educational tour once, Bleng and I, and we coined it Path to Financial Literacy, or Path to Financial Independence, because there is a way. There is a way, but we gotta, start from basics. And the first thing to do is, number one, know that you gotta pay yourself first. Who wants to pay themselves first? Yeah. Yeah, there was
And that's
one day at
that's
least,
something
just
that
one day. I mean, just let me
people
have
don't
one day
think
of that, and
about, right?
I'll change my life forever.
They try to most people, I mean, even for me, try to pay off. First, you got to pay your taxes, then you got
yeah,
to pay your
all the
living
bills.
situation, then you got to pay for food. You don't even think about paying yourself.
You
I
know,
mean,
I
it's
have I have mentor. One of the ways I really sought education, there were these investors around my area. And then they said, they gave me a book. The book said, what do you call that? The richest man in Babylon. And a,
okay.
a part there says, a part of all I earned is mine to keep. And it made so much sense because, just like you said, after taxes, we pay Uncle Sam first, right? And after taxes, we pay everybody else first. The one that manages the mortgage, the electricity bill, and everybody first. And then whatever. And of course, sometimes we say, oh, I deserve this, I deserve this, I deserve this. But then nothing is left to save for our future self. Well, I think I heard you ask Odin last time, well, who gets to take care of your future you? It is your current you, right? So yeah, I'd like to
I'm
pay
kind of
myself first.
immortal. I just
And it's
keep
never
coming
too late
back.
until it's too late.
Exactly.
So the
Mhm.
first thing that we probably should start thinking about is looking at what we have and what we want. And so, like maybe putting our money into two different categories: money that we spend that won't give us a return, and money that we spend that will give us a return on what we put into it. So things that won't give us a return, what just every day. Okay, what won't we get in return, like money wise? Once you pay it, it's gone. Like
Yeah.
if you rent a car or you rent a house or whatever it is, whatever you put into it, it's gone. It doesn't come back to you. But
Mhm.
when you pay yourself and you think about what you're going to do with your future, then you can also look into ways that you can grow your money. And a
Mhm.
lot of people don't look at that. Look at that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Isn't it, Rowena? You're also in the healthcare industry in the
Yes.
beginning, then you try to transition into a different industry. So all of us are all on the same boat in the beginning, right?
Right. Because that's
Were
what
you
we're
a
taught
nurse
in
at one
school.
point, Odin?
Yes.
See, I have
Yeah.
to admit one thing. I always wondered why people say, you got to pay yourself first. And it was in a conversation I actually had with Elon Musk about, what was it, about a week ago? Yeah, it was a week ago. Me and him were talking, and he goes, the first issue and mistake you're making is that you're not looking after number one. If you don't survive, and if you're not strong enough to continue, if you're not able to fight, and if you're not able to look into the future, what happens to the company and everything beneath it? Who's going to
Mhm.
take care of you?
Mhm.
And the answer is, I'm immortal. I ain't going nowhere.
I wish
I
that were
wish
the
we can
case.
say the same.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
I
he's
mean, we're
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
He said something about, the future. So does that sounds like point A to point B. You got to know where your point A first, and then what your point B looks like, and then develop a strategy in between to get there, right? Yeah.
The object for this whole outlook is to know where you're going to, why you're going there, and how long you're going to be in that one position before you decide to switch ships. Because, sorry, this world, people are not concentrating on building the life. They just say, let me get it. And what's going to happen after you get it? I don't know. Okay, well, guess what? Just imagine somebody gave you $1 million, and the whole objective was to hold on to $1 million for 3 years. How would you do it? Well, what I'll do is I'll just put the $1 million in the bank and get a job. Then at the end of 3 years, I get to have a free $1 million. Okay, then people get sick, and you lose your job, you lose a leg, you lose your mind, you deal with situations that are, as they say, act of God. Okay, um, and then you have to wonder how much of that million you're gonna nibble off of before. Oh, you also got to pay rent, you got to pay mortgage, you got to pay your water bill, you got to pay your electric bill, you got to eat food, you got to pay these medical bills, and you got medicine to pay for. How you gonna not nibble off that $1 million?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, but some.
Actually,
Mhm.
Maybe.
actually, $1 million isn't a lot
No, it's not.
nowadays.
It's less than. Look, to be honest, everyone, $1 million is equal to an equivalency right now to $100,000 back in 1960s. Actually, make it early 70s. So, if you really want to be honest with yourself, it's nothing to obtain. The problem is maintaining, and that's why the
Maintaining.
ladies are here.
Some people too, right? They don't even find the time to even learn it because it becomes too comfortable. working gets too comfortable, and I don't have time to learn all of these things. I have so much to do. What they don't know is this is really the key, right? This is really the key. Learning.
A lot of folks, they want to just survive. They're struggling just to survive, living paycheck to paycheck,
Mhm.
just making sure that they have their house payment, their car payment, that they have all their bills taken care of to some extent. They 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 can't see past just the 4 feet or 5 feet in front of them. And what I'm trying to do is maybe have people open their eyes and look and see that, okay, there has to be a goal. There has to be something more to this, and not just to um, survive, but to thrive.
Mhm.
That's very possible to teach yourself to gather those skills so that you can thrive in this world, not just make it paycheck to paycheck.
Yep. Yep. I like what Bleng said. We try to see, like, we have no time. A lot of us would say we have no time, but guess what? We all have 24 hours in a day, right?
No, no.
You have 50 hours in the day, Odin.
That works about right.
Time maker.
Sometimes I got to do
Good
some
time.
creation. Sometimes I have to use some matter manipulation. And sometimes I have to think outside the box and find sleep.
Like for 2 minutes, right?
It's 2.5 minutes. So, I mean, yeah, it averages about 18 to 20 hours in a day. And somebody tells me they got 24 hours on the clock. I wonder where they found that clock, and I need to stop time. That's what I'm gonna need to do. Stop
What I
time.
am saying is that there's only 24 hours in a day for everyone. So it all boils down to choices. How are we going to spend all that 24 hours? Of course, we need our sleep, whatever works for everybody, right? Because if anybody been awake for more than 24 hours, it's like, whoa. But what I'm saying is that I heard from one leader that all our lives, we strive to earn a paycheck. But, we have not spent a few hours of the week, of the day, to determine what to do with that paycheck. But what the automatic thing is, we just spend it. We spend it on the necessities, and we spend it on some not necessities. And so the time to put in determining how else could this money, work for me, and, make that $1 million, or maintain that, so that it doesn't run out. Because, like, who has been to retirement, right? When we create our life, or when we go through life, we have our end goal, like to live up to 100. It's possible now, right? Time magazine also showed that maybe babies born now may have life until they're 142 years old or something like that. Well, how are we going to fund that? 1 million divided by 20 is $50,000 a year. If we put that somewhere where it doesn't grow, and that's $50,000. Well, what if cost of goods are higher? It's not the same, right? So we got to really know how to keep that $1 million sustainable, and maybe even grow to 2 if possible, or 1.5, or just more than just that.
And still have the life that you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
So my question is, since we never will earn what we are supposed to earn, we never will grow to the point where we are 100% independent. Or maybe we can.
That's why we're here.
That's exactly.
Oh
what
my
we're
God!
saying.
Hold on. You were telling us that the key is to be your own. Ooh.
The key is to actually put the future in your own hands. Write your own future.
Have the future. I am the future. Believe it. Believe it. It's kind of hard to believe, but guess what? I can achieve it. Maybe these people want to achieve and then believe. Or maybe they want to believe then achieve. But I mean, you got people in paranormal world that say, like some people I know that I won't say their names, Lori, that believe that they can do these things and then they achieve what they want. I mean, these are steps to being human. So let's try a little human aspect of it all. Everyone, why don't you sit back, take notes, because these ladies are going to take us on a wild ride down financial institutional workshop. That's right. They're going to teach us how to do the correct math. We're going to put needs and wants into different categories. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm not woke enough to understand what I just said. Into different categories. And then we're going to manipulate the wants to go out the door until the needs are met.
Yep.
I like that idea. Help me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong, ladies?
That's essentially right. But then it's really what you want that is going to drive you to get what you want, right? So yes, we all have needs, but what exactly does that mean? It's our wants, our goals, our dreams that make us want to strive farther, go faster, attain that dream.
I want
Because if it,
to be on a space shuttle, and I want to go to the edge of the earth, and I want to be like my man Captain Kirk. I want to
yeah.
look down upon the earth and throw a hammer out.
Why?
I gotta throw a
And
hammer.
for every dream that you have, what do we need? What do we need to do that?
First, I got to get tight with my boy Elon Musk. So everybody,
Elon,
Elon,
right?
we love you.
You need friends. You need a
Rubbing
team,
elbows.
right? You need a team. You need a support team. Some people working together, so you're not by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're not all alone.
Mm-hmm.
You are part of a community that is heading towards the same thing, which is financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
True, Rowena, it's association. When you associate yourself with people that have the same vision as you or same goals as you, then it becomes easier, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
You are the average of the 5 people you surround yourselves with. So choose wisely.
yeah, so maybe we can associate ourselves with Mr. Elon Musk also.
Oh yeah,
Be
everybody
friends.
wants to know the homeboy with the brain power. And the last thing I want to say is, I'm kind of envious of him because he's just so cool, 90% of the time, but he also gets rest. I'm envying him because he gets to rest when I don't.
Mm.
You're working so hard.
But I'm trying to climb
Work
the
so hard.
mountain, but he's already at the top. So I have to use that envy not as a negative, but as a positive. To force drive myself to be where I want to be, which is on top of that mountain right beside him. And I look down upon the valley and I say, humans! Oh, I'm sorry. That was Odin again. He comes out every once in a while. I'm sorry.
He's not on top of the mountain, he's on top of the earth already. He travels, yes.
I know.
He can see everything. So it's really cool for him to be able to do that. And for sure it started with a vision for him. It started with knowing how to do it and make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just changing that mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
And knowing what you really want, knowing how to achieve it, right? So
Yeah, that's through just simply day by day, taking the time to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
It's not becoming too comfortable, because once you're comfortable, you stop growing.
Mm-hmm.
So learn something new every day. Learn how to protect yourself, protect your family, have a strong foundation. So a strong foundation, because whenever you build a house, you need a foundation and a strong one, or your house is
Yep.
going to fall. So build that strong foundation first.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
the way to
then
do that
eliminate.
is,
Mm-hmm.
build that foundation through your own education, learning how to do that.
Yep. And then you go the next step, which is to eliminate debt. They said the borrower is a slave to the lender. That's in the big book, the Bible. But so a lot of us are exposed to credit cards. We use that day in and day out. And little did we know that there's a rule called the Rule of 72 that actually applies to that too. So what I learned is that the Rule of 72, if you divide 72 by the rate of return, or in the case of credit cards, the rate of interest, that equals the number of years that that money will double. So let's say 72 divided by 1. Let's say the places we save in gives us 1% return on our money, right? So 72 divided by 1 is 72. Well, how many 72 years do we have in our lives to double up what we save? Hopefully 1.5, right? But then when we apply that to credit cards, and some of them have 24% interest, it's amazing how that is. So if we borrow against that credit cards, we constantly use it, and 72 divided by 24 is about 3 years. So if we only pay the minimum on those credit cards, then let's say you have
Our
a
debt is going to double.
yes, every 3 years, that debt will double. If we think that we're going to get away with just paying the minimum every single time, then we will have a big bill. So that rule says, for those that know it, they will earn from it. Because now you'll know you're not going to save only in areas that have 1% interest. You're going to find savings vehicles that give you a lot of return on your money. So that's one good thing about that. But
And then find ways to seek fewer something with less interest for your credit cards.
That's right. Or not borrow at all. If you can pay cash,
if you can. So if you can teach your kids how to have that strong foundation, then they don't even have to incur any debt.
Exactly.
Going any school debt, nothing. That they can start their lives after college fresh and without any debt. That would be a dream for a lot of people, is not to graduate college and not have any debt. They can start fresh.
So the next level
too early. It's never too early to start saving. The moment a child is born, there's got to be a way to keep up with inflation, with how many millions of dollars does it take to raise one child to 18?
Oh, I think I passed that. I graduated from that.
From what?
I graduated from that department.
Yes.
They're on the 11th year onwards. Right. But yes, it's so true. You got to start early because, again, that rule of 72 as well teaches us about the compounding interest. The younger you start, wow, that money that you save, is so huge by the time they turn 65. Or what's the retirement age now? 67?
Soon to be 70.
Oh wow.
70.
Okay, so everybody dig deep into your pocket. Find that penny. By the time you're 70, well, hold on, we got an issue already. The many stores do not want to take change. Have you not noticed that too in y'all's area? Here in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, they do not want you to give them change. I thought change is the same as dollar bills. I thought change is, same as currency. But now they're trying to eliminate change. Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. But they can give you a dollar coin.
They just won't take any.
So think about
and
that.
That's inflation.
Inflation? That's deflating my pocket because, I got too much change in it and it's not going nowhere.
When I was a kid, I had a piggy bank. How many people start up their kids off with a piggy bank, teaching them how
I still got one.
earn money? So
it.
every Christmas, every birthday, I get a little bit of money, get a little bit of change, and I put it in there, and they say save it for college. That's the thing that parents would tell us.
Oh my gosh.
Save it for college. And I remember going to the coin machines. Do you remember those coin machines at the grocery stores? So you come out with, I got $7.42. Yay!
Was that enough for your college, Rowena?
Your college costs more.
That's just
Yes, but
bus fare.
not even. It's
Dang.
barely enough for a sandwich.
Can't go to McDonald's with it, ladies. We can't go on a date.
Yeah, what are they now?
God.
$8 for a sandwich at McDonald's. Some of them.
Yeah, think about it. You go on a date and you go into McDonald's and it's like, okay, I got $8.25 and the rest of it's pennies. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. She's gonna get the number one, and I'm gonna sit down and think about it. Maybe I could get some of her fries.
Did you see that the dollar menu is dwindling? They used to have.
Do you see the
many
size
items
of
on the
those
dollar menu.
burgers?
There's hardly anything on that dollar
No,
menu.
no. Forget the dollar menu. Look at the size of the hamburger you're getting. I know everybody out there remembers the Big Mac being the Big Mac. And the Whopper used to be a Whopper. At least it covered the bun, went outside the bun. Now, the Big Mac, it looks like one of those little kiddie burgers with a huge bun around it. Because, the bread is cheap. And the Whopper, keep hope alive. I mean, it's not even bigger than the bun, and it's not as thick as it used to be. And I remember distinctly because I used to work at Burger King when I was 16 years old. Yes, I had to find my way in life at a young age. As I walked through, I discovered I needed to join humanity in more ways than one, so I got a job.
At 16, you started so young.
Yes, I did, and I became the most irresponsible person you'll ever meet. But I was so young.
So that made you save more.
Save? I was dating. I was going to clubs. I was dancing. I was save. At 18, there was alcoholic beverages. Sorry, at 17, there was alcoholic beverages. No, 16 too. Yeah, save. Yeah, we saved, all right. We saved the day. That's all we could do. Save the day. But we did save for like things which we wanted. Like back in the day, we would save for a computer. We would save for things that we desired. The problem is, and will always be, the jacked up prices of the material that you want to get. You're buying stuff that costs literally, a full computer really costs about $15. Talking about the microchips and everything included, $15. Hard drive, give it another $5 for like nowadays a 1 terabyte. Yeah, and you're paying not for that. You're paying severe overage. Aren't you tired of being beaten, people? I think these ladies will tell you, economically, we're all being beaten. We're being lied to. We're being robbed. And big corporations are taking it all, and they're trying to show you how to be independent and get away from all that. Yeah, you may have a need, like a computer. We all need them. God, what do we do without them? We might need a cell phone. Oh, my God, I got to have a cell phone. Outside of that, we need food, shelter, water. We got the communication, we got the cell phone, it's got to keep the bill going. I'm sorry. It cost them 4 cents for the bandwidth, and maybe because it's technology, we're actually paying maybe 8 cents to use the phone on our cell phone.
What year was this?
That's how much it is, really. But then you look in the reality, they're charging you $50, $100, $150. But that's how much the corporations pay, literally, for us to use their equipment. The original price versus the real price versus what they're charging us are totally, always, outrageously two different things. And I think we should say, in reality, we're all getting screwed by the system, and it's time to beat it. And these ladies are the only ones that can teach us how to beat it because they're their own success stories. Hold on, we didn't hear about Rowena.
Yeah.
You heard about me when I was at your show on Thursday.
No.
We gotta do it again. No, we didn't hear it.
No, you got to
You
tell us
didn't hear?
about
Oh, you didn't watch the show?
Well, I did watch the show.
But
Let
you
me hear
gotta
it
share it
again.
again.
Oh,
See, we
you
said
know
it at the same time.
my parents, they came over as immigrants and they worked double jobs. I was raised in my early years by my grandmother while my parents worked, and that's why I can understand Tagalog, but I can't really speak it because she had a third grade education and she didn't know any English. So we learned English together, watching Sesame Street and Harry Carey, Cubs TV, go Cubs, right? And that's how I learned English is sitting with my grandmother watching daytime television. Um, my parents, they put every penny that they had into our education. So they paid what, $80,000 for my nursing degree.
Wow.
Wow.
And I had a brother too, and he went to private school, um, and so they put us both through school, um, and without any loans. Can you do that these days? I
Awesome.
don't know. I
Oh
don't
my,
know.
there's a way,
They
but
just there is a way. It was hard for them. I appreciate everything that they did for me.
yeah.
So I was a nurse for many years, about 20 years, like Amber's, 17 to 20 years. I was a nurse, and then I realized that I had children that I needed to be home for, and so I stayed home, and I wanted a job that I could work from home from my laptop and take anywhere with me. And that's why I got on the road to publishing books. And that's what I still do. I publish books, I edit books, I speak at conferences, and I work from my computer. And then when I was introduced by Amber into this industry, I realized, I know nothing about my finances. I need to learn because I have to be able to take care of my future. When my dad passed away, he had life insurance for my mom, and that's what we've been living on is what she's been living on all this time is the life insurance. But now that she's outliving her her income, really outliving the life insurance, what do we do? So it's time to rethink about the future and walk a different path and look into different ways to save money and build money and so that now she is comfortable and will be for the rest of her life, whatever that is. My goal has always been to keep her out of a nursing home. She will not thrive in a nursing home. And I mean, she was there when she had double knee replacements, and she was in a nursing home for about 6 weeks, and she just deteriorated. I mean, even the food, she couldn't stand the food. We were bringing
She's
her
a
food every
foodie.
day. Yes, my mom is a foodie, and she just couldn't stand it, and it broke my heart because my own grandparents had to go into a nursing home, um, and they had to be declared uh, what's that, impoverished, right, in order for Medicaid to pick up. And they did. They picked it up, but it wasn't. It was an okay nursing home. They were very nice people, but there are gradients of nursing homes. Some are nicer than others, and it's what you can afford.
Mhm.
So, looking at that, I realized first of all, I don't want my own mother to ever go in a nursing home, and second of all, I never want to go to a nursing home. And I don't want to be forced into one because I don't have the assets or I don't have the means. And my parents, when they were looking, when my dad was still alive, they were looking at nursing homes. They actually went out and looked at a few retirement homes, and they
Mhm.
found out that they were too rich to afford uh, a decent nursing home, because a decent nursing home you can get into in one of two ways. You can either have a lot of money and pay for it, or you can have no money and you know get in that way too. So they were middle class. They had enough money that they couldn't really get into a nice nursing home because
Mhm.
they wouldn't qualify. They
Wow.
wouldn't qualify. So so we gave that up altogether and just decided just to get a caregiver. And nowadays there are ways that long-term care can be covered by um, a caregiver or help at home as opposed to going
Mhm.
into a nursing home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to be at my home too when that time comes. That's like in hopefully in 50 more years. I want to
Right.
be really healthy and traveling and going until I get to that point that, I would need that care. But like you said, that part of our lives as we grow older, everybody's growing old except Odin. Everybody's going to get there, right?
Forever
But
young.
No, no.
I
Listen,
know.
I just gotta say one thing, Emperor. I will take care of you in your old age. Okay. Don't worry about it, Cinderella.
So I was telling my colleagues once, I go like, maybe I'll just construct or have my own nursing home, and it would be a really fun one. So you gals are welcome to rent a space or like have ownership in that. But
I'm
yeah,
I want to hire my own caregiver. I don't want to
yeah.
be in a nursing home.
And I don't
I
want to
want my
force my kids
own.
to take care of me. I don't want that at all.
Well, you don't even know what my nursing home would look like.
Hold
Would be
on,
the
girls.
funnest
Hold
one.
on. Y'all gonna have the men walk around in their little G strings showing their chest and one coming in a fireman outfit, I can see your nursing home. You're scaring me. Can, can I
I
be
am
one of
not
them? Can you
safe
hire me?
yet.
Can you hire me? I'm immortal. I look the same every year. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, um, having that what do you call that thought that all of us are going to grow older and all of us are going to need someone to supervise it at some point. In my practice right now, we see people in their stages of life. So there are times wherein you cannot be by yourself anymore because sometimes your muscles are not that strong enough to hold you up. Sometimes there's falls. So one person, at least you need to be supervised. A lot of them though are really nice because they are so very up and independent. But then there comes a point wherein maybe it would be better to have someone there to just supervise, your daily activities. If you need help, if you need to lift something or something like that. But when that point comes, like how do we manage that? How do we have funding for that?
Right.
So that's when planning. So investing or saving is one area, but planning is another area. So that's something that I learned from one of my mentors as well. Yeah.
And you really gotta plan it good for you not to outlive all of the money that you've saved for,
Yep.
right? And then it starts just with financial literacy, really. The earlier, the better.
Mm-hmm.
So we can build our own, or you build your own nursing home. I hire 5 caregivers by myself.
How about you, Rowena? How about you, Rowena?
All I need is one good one.
And you, Odin, what's your goal at that age?
I'm thinking about a 35-year-old, personally, because that's about the speed that I'll still be at. But outside of that, I'm gonna need a back massage. So I might need a massage therapist,
There you go.
and I'm gonna need somebody. I gotta have a swimming pool. Yes, I must have a
Right,
swimming pool.
right.
Yes. And in the nursing home, could we also have like a little playground for us, so I can watch the
For
old folks
grandkids.
running around and jumping on slides? I'm gonna go on a swing. Hot dang it!
But the sad thing is, are we ready for that? How much of America is ready for their retirement? Have it all mapped out? Have it where they know what's going to happen to them? Are they prepared?
That's a big question. Or another question that we may add is, how good do you want that kind of life to be, or how comfortable do
Right.
you want that kind of life to be? It all boils down again to what Bleng said, planning.
Financial literacy.
Yeah.
Financial
But
literacy. Financial literacy.
imagine the kids are graduating now that paid so much on college loan. It's like a mortgage already to pay for a
Mm-hmm.
college loan. Imagine them, they're so young, and how are they going to even prepare if they're paying for a college loan?
Oh, wow.
Trying to pay it back.
Well, that's one thing. How can you find a job? Because now it's hard to find a job with a college degree, right? You've got to have another a postgrad or right. So to find a good high-paying job,
More
right?
debt though,
More
because you got
debt.
to study more. You'll never run out of debt.
You're never gonna run out of debt. So how is gonna retirement? How will retirement look like then? Will there be any?
You're scaring me. You're scaring me because you just made
That's
me
not.
thinking about
No,
it.
that's not. We're not trying to scare you. You're not trying to, do anything like that. Just making you think.
Just
Just
bring
think.
awareness.
Just think.
Yes.
Hold on. I got a
Yes.
statement for you. Just think. I mean, just imagine this. You're living in a world where you have an expertise, say, in building. Or you got an electrical engineering degree, you know wiring like the back of your hands. You can't really do anything but be an apprentice, if you could be an apprentice. I mean, and that means, I hate to say it, the paper isn't worth anything. Your first degree is worth absolutely nothing. I mean, it shows that, oh yeah, you could sit there and take a test. That's all it means in today's world now. In the past, it meant, hey, you got a foothold into a job. I mean, it's scary what you're saying. And
It is.
I hope y'all realizing how scary this is, because I'm starting to think maybe one PhD, two PhDs, might have to go 3 or 4 just to be even, make sure I at least can, handle life. Because life is hard. I mean, yeah, we have an economic system that's collapsing, got people hungry and homeless, living on the streets with their families, little children running around without diapers. We got the whole thing going on. And the problem I have is, this is not just here. It's in the Philippines. Especially, I know it's in Indonesia. Good Lord. If the Philippines are having it bad, Indonesia is really having it bad. Bottom line. The issues of a quote-unquote global economy is leaving a lot of people out. And that's why these ladies are here, to bring you back into the game. They want to help you put some money in your pocket instead of spending it on McDonald's at $8.53 a number one value meal.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, $8.53. Listen, $8.53. Let me tell you what I can do with $8.53. I go buy 5 pounds of ground beef and a loaf of bread. I won't get no sauce or nothing to go with it, but maybe I can go to 7-Eleven and snag some packets, and I just had myself a dynamite hamburger. You go to McDonald's, you got that little tiny piece of meat. Oh, by the way, I would have leftovers because I just bought a 5-pound pack of hamburger. And you go to McDonald's and you're getting that little thin little patty. They're going to put some special sauce, lettuce, cheese, onions, and a sesame seed bun. You're going to get those french fries that have already been pre-cut and weighed just for you. And you can get a soda, which is not really as healthy as you want it to be. Because, I mean, who knows, carbonated out of a fountain. Sugar, yeah. Teeth, right. You got a dental bill. Maybe you got a gastrointestinal bill going on with it. Yeah. Hold on. Heart disease, go with that. Yeah. Blood pressure shooting up. Yeah. All of that from McDonald's. Versus, you take that same money and buy yourself 5 pounds of ground beef. Go get some juice.
How much is it a pound?
Oh,
How much
5
is it a
pounds.
pound? How much is ground beef a pound?
What is that beef?
It's 3. Here in DC, ground beef is 4.7. I don't know. No, $2.57 a pound. So
$2.57 a pound. So yeah, okay, you can get maybe.
I got 4
pounds.
Yeah, I can
4
get about
pounds.
4
Okay.
4 pounds, but if you go to the right place, you might get 5. I know where the right place to go. I go to a butcher's. I go to butchers all the time. I want my beef, real. So I don't.
Okay,
I don't
so
play
there are
with it.
secrets there too.
Oh yeah.
Where to save
I gotta
money.
teach that.
And then you
Yeah,
got
where,
the farmers
where
markets.
do you go shopping? What places?
I go to Dutch market.
Cut coupons.
Oh God, you got. See, where my man at? I was telling him about coupons today, and tell him, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna feed this show to so many people. It's not funny, but yeah, get your hands on that Sunday edition that they have the coupons in. Look for coupon books. Save yourself a penny, nickel, dime. Save something, because guess what? It all adds up. It will add up in the end. Trust me, I remember back in the day, my mom and I had that big old packet, little like an envelope, and it had the coupons all in it, which one's expiring when, all front and back. That's how we used to do it. It saves you money. Yes, it does. Even there are coupons for, if you do it right, you can get discounts on your electric bill. You can get discounts on your water bill. You can even get discounts on buying cars if you know where to look. So maybe this show may be a little bit more progressive than the rest of the shows y'all been listening to, and more real and truthful. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, I hate to sit there and listen to shows where people are just giving their analysis of the economy and how to make you rich, and they never tell you how to get rich. We just started off by telling you about coupons over here.
And then don't fall into the trap that some coupons have. Like, my daughter, she had a free cookie.
Oh,
Um,
God.
yeah, so she got it for her readathon at school. So of course we go to the place to get the free cookie. And can you walk out with just one cookie? No.
No,
No.
you can't. It's
So
impossible.
you walk out with 5 cookies or a dozen cookies. So
Yeah.
you went in going to get your free cookie, but in the end, how much did you actually buy? So yes, go for the coupons, but be careful that you're not buying things just because you have a coupon.
Oh my God! You know something? I'm just
There's a
thinking.
catch.
I'm just thinking. Maybe, I mean, well, maybe you should let them know also. Yeah, there are filthy rich people out there that also need your assistance. They quote unquote live above their means, but they don't show it out in public. You know those kinds that say, "Yeah, I'm on $500 million and rich," or and really they are just barely making it on $50,000 a year and maybe less. There are people like that out there, and the truth is, I know some stinking rich people on the books, but outside of the books, man, they asking me for $20. I mean, the fact is that people need to learn how to not only influence themselves in the situation that we're living in today. Well, shoot, they need to learn to influence themselves in all the situations. They need to be able to influence themselves in controlling themselves. I mean, yeah, today's news, we say the new thing is being woke. Tomorrow, the new thing will be how to handle the financial resources that are coming towards us because we have none. So these ladies are here to make sure we keep at least a certain portion of the society working. Keep a certain portion of the society from living on the street or having to go put a tent out in the woods or sneak out and live in a national park during the hard cold winter. We're here to help you. We're here to bring you a resurgence of life and show you some love, baby. Go ahead, girls. Y'all talk. I'm sorry, because I love this show. From the beginning, I love the idea. From the beginning, I love you 3 girls from the beginning. So, what can I say? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I talked too much.
You made a very, very good point. What is really wealth? So for a lot of people, wealth means having that fabulous home, nice cars, looking rich, all that lifestyle. It looks like you're rich if you have this kind of lifestyle. But there are people that may want to look like that, but they end up really racking up credit cards, just like you said. Very good point. But what truly is being rich? What truly is being financially independent? In the industry that we are in, we have talked and spoken to people that are truly rich, and you will see how amazing they are, very humble. They're wearing regular shirts, but you know that they have wisdom, they have taught and planned out their life. So what is truly financial independence? Okay, let's roll around here. Rowena, what does financial independence mean for you?
For me, it means that I can sleep at night thinking that I'm going to be okay, that I'll be able to afford my circumstances and where I am, that I don't have to worry about where I'm going to live or how I'm going to live. Um, and for me, it also means not having somebody telling me what to do, where, how I can spend my money and where to spend my money. I'll be the one who can say what I want to do with my money. That's to me what financial independence is not having anybody telling me what I have to pay for.
How about you, Bleng?
Well, to me, financial independence is enjoying retirement sooner than later that I could not do it anymore.
It's
Right?
now, right? Enjoy
It
your
is
retirement
now.
now.
It is now because you cannot keep working and working and working and just live paycheck to paycheck each time, right? Because as you get your paycheck, you know already where it's gonna go, right?
You've already spent the
You
money.
don't you haven't even you don't it doesn't even touch your hand yet. It just goes to
It's
the bank
already gone.
direct to the bills, right? But then you're gonna
Right,
work again to save for more. But then there's nothing set aside for the retirement. To me, that is financial independence. I wanted to do it sooner and enjoy life and not be working, but having all the money that I can have without even worrying about what will happen if I get sick.
right,
You know, when I
right,
joke,
What will happen to my kids, right? Those are the things that's very important to us, right? It's the family because that's the reason why we keep working
exactly.
to provide for the family. But then if if we don't plan it, how will that look like, right? So that's why it's really I that's that to me is financial independence.
You know,
How about you, Em?
when I started in this industry, actually before I went into the industry, my pastor had us write in a paper, the power of vision and the power of writing down what you would like in your life. I said, I want to be a part of a movement that helps educate people about how to become financially independent so they don't have to worry in their time of need. And you know what, on the side, maybe be compensated really good for it. And guess what? It just landed on my life like maybe Odin landed in Rowena's life. Right? So you got to write it down. What you want to achieve in life, write it down and then solidify that because your life will line up like that. And I am so fortunate to be a part of that movement now. And that's basically teaching people on how to become financially independent. So financial independence to me always goes back to my experience, my personal story. You know, losing someone because she didn't have enough money to pay for continued care anymore. I see that. I saw that in my own story, but I keep seeing it still, in people that don't have enough to afford treatments, further treatments. And it's like, what are you going to do? Like the Bleng said, we continually work to provide for the people that we love, for our families. But then what if we can't provide anymore? Isn't it so good to feel that you don't have to worry about it? Somebody goes to the hospital, that's like a high stress time for a lot of the family.
right,
So much
right.
tension, there's so much like worry. Okay, where am I going to get to pay for that? How much treatment is she going to get? Like I said, here it's amazing that you can get treatment first before you get to be billed for your medical services. In other countries, in our country, they have to have the money to show for it to continue their services. I don't want that to be the end of life. If you, so yeah, that's financial independence to me.
You bring up another good point, Amber, in that who do we have in our lives who we are financially responsible for should something happen to them, right? Our kids, our parents, our aging parents, are we responsible if something happened to them? Is it on us to take care of them? If they were to pass suddenly, do we have $20,000 set aside ready for a funeral? Do we have that? And so I ask everybody out there to think about who they have in their life and who they're responsible for, and if something were to happen, do they have the means to take care of that person?
Okay, well, I got to hop in on that one. See,
Right.
I have the real belief that says one thing. See, y'all want to have $20,000 in grand drive-through scene with a huge hearse and all the cars having little stickers saying funeral on it and all that crap that don't really make sense because all you're doing is putting somebody in the ground and dropping them and gone. The bottom line is, I know the sympathy part of it is, people, you got to be more realistic. How about this? Let's do it old school. Let's throw some powder wood out, put the body on top, give them a real ceremony, say, yo, you did it. I'm proud of you. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. And next.
Well,
Hey,
there is
that's
that.
an Odin funeral. Or put them on a nice little ship and send them out in the water for a good say goodbye.
But see, you can make that decision for yourself,
but you
right?
can't do
Think
the
about
fire
how
and the
do I
ship
want to
no
go? What do I want to have at my funeral? You can
Yeah.
plan that now.
Or you can say cremations
Yes,
in
you can
DC.
plan that now. If you however way you want to go, you can
Cremations
plan it now
in
so that
Washington, but
your family
cremations.
knows what to do when that happens.
But cremations in Washington D.C. are starting at $2,500.
Right.
Yeah.
Can anybody in their pockets right now just whip out $2,500? Not $25. I said $2,500. If you can't do that, you need these ladies.
Right. And so now there are ways that you can plan for that. You can plan for that for your loved ones. So everybody can have something in place for that inevitability.
Mhm.
And these are things we don't want to think about, but it's going to happen one day to all of us.
Conversation. Yep, it's a hard conversation to have. But guess what are the only two things that are certain in this world? Death and taxes. Right?
Right. So I remember when my dad, when he was I'd say in his 60s, he said, when I go, I want everybody to wear white. I don't want anybody sobbing or crying. I want everybody to wear white and have a big party, to have food and enjoy that I was around with them, and then just send me off with a big bang. And that's what we did. That's what we did. We wore white and we gave him a nice party for he was the oldest of 10. So
Wow.
and so they all have family, and it was and he had a lot of friends. He was a well-loved man. If you're a well-loved person, you'll have a lot of people coming to see you at the funeral, and what are the costs for that, right? So if you're prepared, it could be a time that's not stressful, and it's a time that you can grieve and say goodbye properly, and not have to be a, a time of great stress and anger and frustration and grief that is mitigated by all the pressure that goes with having somebody you love pass on so suddenly and unexpectedly.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Well, with that, Rowena, that's the funeral part. The other question would be, what's going to be left behind? Is it
Oh,
death or something
yeah.
else, right?
Right.
So that's
And
even
and
harder.
if you don't die, right? There was a point where you realize, okay, well, if you don't die right away, say my dad had a stroke, and he was in for 2 weeks. He was in the hospital, and we were wondering if we were going to move him into a nursing home. But he passed on before that. But there are people out there who, when there's a stroke and they didn't die. So what now? They have to go somewhere. They have to be taken care of full time. So I mean, these are contingencies that we have to look at some point, and better to plan for it and then not think about it than to not think about it and then have to deal with it
That's
when
right.
the time does come.
Correct. Correct. Couple that with that high stressful times that when you're in it, lots of tension. So how do we do that, Bleng? How do we mitigate that risk if it were to happen?
Well, you still have to plan ahead and know what options you have out there, because there's so many options that when we start working, they only teach us certain things, right? they don't explain everything from my from my experience, because maybe I wasn't that interested yet at that time. But now as you get older and you get closer to that time, you want to know more. You wanted to know more, but truly, there's really a lot of options out there on how you can start saving or even plan all the things that we talked about, right? Knowing the options is important. Being educated is always the key on what you can do to plan for your future. It's never too late. It's never too late to learn any of these things. There's always time to plan because there's always different options. Doesn't matter what age you're in,
Mhm.
right? The younger you are or older, right? There's still options out there. And that's a goal, is really to spread that financial education and literacy to many people. Because things that we don't now know now will hurt us later.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, we get so busy trying to, just keep up with our daily lives, right? Trying to earn and make sure we got our family provided for. But if we're the primary breadwinner for the family, well, what happens to our family when that provision from us goes away? It's either we pass on or we get sick. Of course, there won't be income. The bills are still coming in,
Right.
but then where will the income be coming from? That's the
You know,
question.
I remember talking to somebody, this was years ago, and she was actually, I met her somewhere in, I believe in Georgia, and she's a doctor. She's a medical doctor by background, and she is actually a, a cosmetic surgeon. And she was already in her early 60s, and she's saying she's still paying for her college loans.
Wow.
It was a lot. I mean, imagine, because how many years do you study? How many years do you have to pay for college loan? Yes, it's a high earning job, but then the debt, the college loan that comes with it, right? So then it's hard to retire, right?
Yes, and if it's a high interest rate and you're just paying minimums, that debt will sustain on and on.
Well, because there are needs that come up too. There are unforeseen circumstances that happens, right? Yeah, so there's so many things. There's so many things that we really, there's options out there. There's many things that we need to learn about. And us, and that's the goal, is really to help many people understand it as well.
So yeah, like if I'm the primary breadwinner of my family, what happens to my family? Because you made a point earlier. You know what? Um, when you pass on, what do you leave behind? Is it, debt, or is it a comfortable life for your family? But how do you plan for that? What options do people have to make sure that your income is replaced, at least for the next, they say the first year, the family really has a lot of stress, trying to keep up and looking for that income that used to come in, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, so because that's a time you seek for that financial help or a financial professional that can help you, because every situation is different. Every needs of family is different, so you cannot just say, oh, this is what you need at this time. It's different, right? If per family there's different needs. There's what you call what's going to be suitable and what's going to help them, because your main goal is really to help them in their future, the future of the family. So those are the things that they can seek for a financial professional that can help them understand their own finances, right? Because as we said, there's other options that they have.
But do
But
they have to pay for that? Because when you say financial professional, usually, that's only for those that can afford it, that advice or,
not necessarily. Oh
oh,
no, because well, that's what my understanding before.
yeah, yeah.
Before I thought you cannot, they're not gonna entertain you if you have a lot.
I
But
actually paid for one, and then you know what? I paid $2,000 because I was so hungry in knowing what to do so I can make sure my kids have education. I don't have to break my bank for it. But I paid $2,000, and the guy never called me back. Never. I'm like, oh, well, I should not say never. Never is such a strong word. But I always try to initiate. I thought that he was the one, because I paid for the service. He was the one who's going to reach out to me and make sure that I save on my kids' college. But it's like, okay, maybe I'm not that high income earner enough, to make the cut of his attention. So, yep.
And
Are there,
that's why you had to take the matter into your own hands and
yeah,
learn for yourself what to do.
exactly. Yeah, what do you do?
So did you go get that $2,000 back? Did you lay the smack down?
No. That last year, I said, you know what? I was in this industry already. I kind of know what you said. Well, he helped me a little bit, but that kind of knowledge that I was expecting to be given to me, I said, I will turn that around. I won't do that to the people because I know how it feels to be on that end. You get to pay for the service and you don't get that service back as best as you can. And I know of people that are financial professionals, and then they sit down with you, they walk you through how to achieve your goals, basically how to save on your college expenses. There are ways on to do that. How do you protect your family without you? They educate you first. That's the primary goal, is to educate you. So
My question then would go to Dr. Bleng. I like that. Dr. Bling. Dr. Bling.
I don't use that anymore.
Doctor,
Dr. Bling. I like
that's
that.
something that they can't take away. Nobody can take that from you, Blaine. You're a doctor because you work for it. You got it.
See, now the secret's out. It's the doctor with the bling. That's right. All right.
With the bling.
So the question I have now is, what can we do, in your perspective, what can we do to better our lives and secure that financial income? If some people are like working and they're working that 8 to 5. Yeah, the 9 to 5 is gone, right? Yes, 8 to 5. Okay.
8 to 5, no lunch.
Yeah, 8 to 5, no lunch, and hopefully they give you. Hopefully they give you the free,
The free
30
lunch.
minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes for lunch. Yeah, hopefully.
Mute time.
Yeah. And don't go to the bathroom. That's wasting a lot of time. But but what do you suggest that we do to better prepare ourselves? What would you suggest that we should do to better prepare ourselves if we're working at 8 to 5 with the 15-minute lunch and we got to go to use the bathroom? What do you think we need to do to better prepare ourselves for the future financially?
That's why we know when you plan, right? When we work, right? What we do is we really spend everything. It's paycheck to paycheck. Then that needs to be analyzed. We need to know what are the things that we can cut off in our budget and know what we can set aside to make that money grow, applying the rule of 72, right? What is the money that's left, or what are the things that we can give up? Right? What are the things that we can give up to save for the future? Because as we know, right, that rule of compounding interest, a certain amount of money or a small amount of money, as you start to make it grow, by the time you turn 30 or 30 years from now, it's gonna be enough, right? It's gonna be a supplemental income from you, from whatever you're gonna get from retirement. But you have set up, some people have set up their retirement incomes already, right? Or they've saved some, but any single money, any amount of money that you can set aside extra, it's going to help you 30 years from now, 20 years from now. So that analyzing or knowing what you can set aside, or what are the things that are important, what are the things that are important, that's the need that we really need, or is it just a want? Things that we want, maybe we can set aside and put that money to plan for the future. But unfortunately, a lot of people doesn't do it that way, right? So then set aside for that, and then there are options for whatever savings vehicle is going to be appropriate for them. Or that's why they need to really sit down and ask for a financial professional and see what options they have, what's going to be best for their situation. Right. And then, as you set that aside, then you can plan for the kids' education as well, right? Any amount of money that you set aside now will go a long way. It can plan for the kids' education and then plan for the retirement as well. There's so many things that they can do, but again, it's a case-to-case basis. in analyzing their finances, because some people might not have enough. We
Mhm.
know you mentioned that earlier, Odin, right? Most of the business owners, they get to enjoy more. Why not be open-minded and open a business, right? And start up something like a business that can help you uh, earn more income later instead of just being an employee. When I started just I was working as an employee, but then I was very open-minded and learning new things. And now I realize that there's other opportunities such as business that can help you as well in securing that future. So that's another avenue that you can do. But again, first things first is knowing what's important and setting aside that money.
Mhm.
And yeah, does that answer your question?
Oh, you answered it. Yeah.
So
You
Odin,
answered it. Really
what
answered it. I'm just
what
amazed
is
that.
it?
Oh, go ahead.
What is it for you? What is financial independence? What does that mean to you?
Okay. That there's no influencers over my income. I have a less than a 1% debt ratio or 2% debt ratio. And
All
last
right.
but not least, I'm able to live the quality of life I desire, design, and want to live without others controlling factors involvement. I would like to be for to take that one step further. Let's take it one step further. Financial independence is truly being happy with what you have accomplished, and that accomplishment is yours, and you owe nobody on the outside of it. Be it education, be it the person that gave you a loan in the beginning, be it the credit cards, be it the grocery store. You always have a stock supply. You only go there when you need to, not want, need. And last but not least, the best part of financial independence is you're able to sleep at night. Well,
Yeah.
hold on. I don't sleep, so I don't know. That's a hypothetical word. Sleep at night. That's hypothetical because I haven't done that yet. That's right.
Your dream is to sleep.
My true goal for financial independence is to be able to sleep. Like I said, I envy Elon Musk because Elon gets to sleep. I mean, he does his research, he looks over everything, he tracks everything, but he gets to sleep. I mean, Friday night, you already know, Friday night to Saturday, I was up to 4 o'clock in the morning, wasn't it? 4 o'clock? Yeah, something like 4 o'clock. Then Saturday, I started off at 10 a.m. in the morning, so that's 4 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning. I took a snooze. I had to eat, shower, blah, blah, blah. Then at 10 o'clock in the morning, I start working. I didn't end till 7 o'clock this morning, Sunday. Okay, hold on, I'm not done. Then I get up at 10 this morning, so 7 to 10. Then I went to go see my boy Rocky, who's a host on the network. Thank you very much, Rocky. You hooked me up. And I've been working straight since. So tonight I will have to crash. So I have something that's going to help me. Crash. It appeared on the Friday night show. If anybody remembers what I had in my hand, was it Thursday night? Yeah, Friday night. It was Friday night when I had my bottles with me. Yeah, I'm going to have half of one of them, and I'm going to go lay down and go to sleep. I wake up on Monday morning, and I have to start this whole week all over again. That's
It's your drive that keeps you awake, though. It's that drive. It's that drive to achieve your dreams and your goals, and worrying about how you're going to get there.
Well, more so it's all these beautiful hosts that I have, all the upgrades and updates I have. Like I did upgrades and updates on everybody's flyer today. So check out what I've sent you already. If you haven't, who cares?
I saw.
Okay. So, I mean, I've done a lot of work today. I've done 8 flyers. I've been on the phone a crap load. I battle hard to stay on top of everything, so I try to read the news with one cell phone, the other cell phone.
Multitasking.
See, she understands. Amber understands. I barely have time to do anything but breathe. After this show, I'm telling you what I'm going to have to do. I have to run to the store. I have to go get some celery. I have to get some mayonnaise. And I got to get some more pickles.
You are busy.
While I'm doing a show. Time does not stop in media. Media is one of those areas that's totally different than a work life, like 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever the numbers are now. I just can't do it. I mean, I would love to do an 8 to 5, but what you're going to pay me versus what I can achieve? I mean, if people just take an account and be realistic, and when I do this, who wants a group chat? Come on. The reality is this. If a person believes that they can work at 8 to 5 and achieve their goal, they're losing their mind. Because they tax you. They work the hell out of you. They're going to want more hours out of you. That's why they call it overtime. You think they're paying for that overtime tax-free? You're getting taxed. Do you think it goes into your Social Security, whatever? No. The bottom line is there's so many little issues that people assume occur that don't occur. Sometimes you have to realize that no matter how hard you work, the only thing that you're getting out of it is the knowledge and the ability to do the job the right way. And if you want to save your family, if you want to save yourself, if you want financial security, if you want to have a foothold into society that's not taking out of your pocket, if you want to be able to have a vacation sometime, if you want to be able to live and go out to dinner with someone sometime instead of going to McDonald's at $8 a pop, for number one, thank you very much. Learn from these women. I'm sorry. The best shoppers in America are sitting right here. They're going to shop and tell you right now how to save money, how to create money. Yeah, you can actually make money. Yeah. You know how you make money? By not spending it, by holding it down, by putting it into certain areas, which I will not discuss because it hasn't been mentioned yet, and creating little business organizations within business organizations to support the business. There are ways around that, and there's a ways to avoid taxation. Oh yeah, trust me, I can tell you that too, and it's legal. If you just listen to these ladies, you'll be on track, people. Just keep listening. Sorry, ladies, I went through a ramp. I did it again. I'm sorry.
No, we love it. We love it. At the end of the day, it's not how much you make. It's how much you keep. And it all starts again with financial education. We're getting educated.
It starts with me. I gotta want to be educated, and I gotta make sure I pay myself eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first thing to do is actually to sit down and saying, okay, first of all, do I want do I need the money? You know, who needs money? Do I need money? Ask yourself that. If you don't need money, that you're fine, you're great, you're fantastic, you don't need our help. But if you want to learn more, just ask. Just ask one of us. Just contact one of us and we can sit down with you and help you and help your family. And there's no harm in that. No harm in trying to learn more and seeing what other avenues there are out there for you.
So, ladies, I have a question for you. Yeah, I'm going to get deep with this one. Watch this one. Watch this question. What is the best way to hold money, not spend it, to make sure is there a way, is it better to let your bank account auto pay for your bills? Is it better than you doing it? Or is it better that you take money and you actually put down just a little bit over the minimum required so that you can maintain? these are questions that people want to know. Is it better to is it better to work multiple jobs so that you can actually use one for paying the bills while the other one is stored in a bank account? I think that honestly, I think you trying to kill yourself. You trying to be more than me. You working two jobs? Good God, what do you think, ladies? What do y'all think? What do y'all think?
Multitasker.
I think you're crazy.
Multitask to the nth power. We gotta find a way to duplicate ourselves, right? Right, Bleng and Rowena?
Mm-hmm.
There's a system.
If we could.
If we could, and yep, there are ways out there to do that. Not like as what do you call that? A system. So they said that there's like 4 ways that cash flows into your life. Number 1 is to show up as an employee. You show up for work, you get paid, right? You don't show up for work, you don't get paid. The second one is to be self-employed. So you are your own boss. But again, if you don't show up for your own business, then there's no business for you. The third one is having or being a part of a system wherein of course, you join, and then there's a system that is in place that you follow. And then so that even if you're not present because you duplicated yourself, you trained other people to do what you do, whatever they're doing, you're earning as well, or like you're all earning together. Then you get your sleep.
The hardest part I've found is trusting the person that you train. God, I mean, if you could know honestly the amount of people that say, "Oh, I'll help you." Okay, you say you want to help. I can't handle this. I can't handle this. That's all you hear next. It's too much work. Screw this. I quit. I'm like, I'm one person doing what you're doing while you're doing just a small section of what I normally would do. And you quit. You leave. You abandon ship. You do it the white flag. I mean,
But that's the beauty of not just doing it once.
I've seen
right?
it in these kids today. They get a job. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make all this money. Oh yeah. And when they show you what you're gonna be doing, oh, I could do that. Yeah. And then you tell them go bring 3 bars of rebar. It was heavy. I'm tired. It was just 3 bars. I'm the guy behind you carrying 5.
Right.
Why are you so soft is the question I ask. But I quit. I can't do it. You got a nation full of quitters, softies, people that don't want to go for the world title. They rather go and just be in the ring. How do you change the outlook, the psychology? Sorry, had a cigarette in my mouth and I wanted to smoke. The psychological aspect of an individual that is a defeatist. I'm gonna ask all 3 of you ladies how to answer that one. How do you change a defeatist?
First of all, for me, you don't just train one person. Okay, you go out there and you get yourself a team, so that if one person falls, the rest of the team pulls up the slack. So you are not the product of your worst link, right? You are the product of your team. So if somebody is having a hard time on your team, you got the rest of your team to help bolster that person up while they're having a hard time. And so you have to find more team members. And the quality team member is somebody who can be on a team and is not an isolated player and is not a defeatist, because those people, they'll naturally fail away. They'll fade away, and you can't make somebody do something that you want. It's up to them to decide if that's something that they want to do. If they want to empower themselves, if they want to learn, great. have them on your team. And if they don't want to do that, then, you know, wish them well and hope that they'll find another way. And then you continue finding other people you can help. So it's not a matter of changing somebody's mindset. They're the only ones who can do it for themselves. It's a matter of being available for people who are seeking that and wanting a solution to their problems.
You know, Cowboy Bob said co-oping is a tool for consideration. And I agree, Bob. I truly agree. And if there was more time in the show, I would have asked you to hop in. But there isn't. But I'm going to say I agree co-oping is good. But guess what? In the end, as they fall down, because you know how many hours I put into work, Bob. As they fall down, or they got to do this, or they got to do that, and they got to take care of this and that. But they're not taking care of what the business needs. I mean, I could push this network as hard as I can, as much as I can, as often as I can. But listen to the problem. If I had someone that could cover a portion, I'm not talking about 50%, I'm talking about 5% of what I do. Help me out. You know, as they say back in the day, helps me.
So there's delegation. You might need to train more than one person. You might need to train a team of people. So even if two people are out.
How do you trust a team? Unless they all trained at the same time together or the same way together. I mean, you ladies are a team that is built to teach an individual how to succeed in their financial issues and financial wants and financial gains. That's straight knowledge. We're talking about, on my side, I got mixers and programs and boards, and I'm sitting here trying to tell them, listen, my end goal is to have my own channel on, say, Amazon TV, Hulu TV, one of them, say Roku TV, blah, 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 my own channel. So if we work together, once I get the channel, the advertisers stick in, I'm paying you. Okay, it sounds good, la la la. But in the end, all I see is, this is too much work. I can't be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, guess what? 2 o'clock in the morning for me is 8 o'clock in the morning in the UK. See, I'm on a 24-hour clock.
Right.
I'm media. This is the job. If I have a show from the Ukraine, which I had last night after Gary's show, it cut in at 4 o'clock. Then I got to run it at 4 a.m. Who's going to be there to pick me up, dust me off when it comes to that? Nobody. Only me. So sometimes you say you got to pay yourself first. I understand what you mean by pay yourself first, because you're paying your own dues to keep yourself afloat. Oops.
Right.
Guys,
Right.
Did you just hear me? Confirmation? Oh my God, I just thought about that. It is a miraculous thing. Woo-wee. I also say, who can do a better job than the person that knows the job? I mean, you girls were trained, experienced the issues that come with loss of money, wishing to have helped somebody that was in need, and y'all doing y'all heartfelt payback. That's your side. My side, I'm doing this to get these people to wake up, see the world in reality, know that, number one, for your show's side, that economically we can change this world by changing who we are ourselves, educating ourselves in better ways to save money, and wisdom is what we need. So you're the teachers, you're the instructors, you ladies are quote unquote masters. But do people want to listen? No, they say, show me the real deal. But you ladies are the real deal, right? I mean, I've seen it. I know it. Y'all are the real deal. Y'all not fake. Y'all don't have rubber skin and plastic all over yourselves. but you're in an industry that's you do get some rest. I'm in media. There's no rest because there's always something going on in the news. I gotta keep
Right.
abreast. I gotta be there, front line and center, and that's why I have like people like Cowboy Bob, Penny Bradley, and Lori and Gary the Man Martian, who I love them, but you got my YouTube canceled, Gary. I got another 7 days on this. I'm not gonna be happy for 7. I'm not gonna be happy with you for 7 more days till my YouTube is back up. I got Samantha Goldberg. I got Miles Moonbases, my boy Miles. I got my boy Sway. I can name them all. I love my every host on my network. Every single one of them. Valkyrie, Ice McGill. I love every one of them. Valkyrie, you know I love you. That's my heart, boy. That's my Valkyrie. And I mean, the idea is to save my energy, of course. Save
Right.
my wants, desires, and design, of course. But the problem I have is, like Jeffrey Daughtery, I got to do the work because it won't get done without me. I think I just named every host on the network in a conversation. Oh, but then I got Miss Rowena over here who's going to be batting down the doors, calling me and screaming on the phone and sending me text messages. Did you do this? Did you do that? Yes, Rowena, I will do it, and I am going to do it. I'm going to separate the finances. I'm going to learn to consider the needs versus the wants and make my want the need for more security. I agree. Y'all need to stop. Y'all smiling and blushing over here. Every one of y'all scaring me now. I think I just came. I had a come to God moment. I came to myself. Wow. All right. So how does Amper? How about that? How would you take a situation where you're overworked, you have a lot of things going on, you do need the support, but every time you get somebody in to do the job, they don't do it the way it needs to be done, or it's too much for them and they want to run away and just not call or just not do because, or just drift off into the sunset, basically is what I'm saying, because your job is that you do by yourself is too much for them and they're only using maybe 20% or 10% of what you do. How
Well,
would you handle it?
I feel you. I think it's getting to them the message of life is really your own ownership, and that's what I have experienced with the people I am surrounded with right now. We are owners of our own businesses, and then knowing what our decisions are on a day-to-day basis determine what our futures will be, and that's why we've seen driven people. And then what Rowena said, find the people that are looking for you, because you'll never go wrong. They will ask you, okay, Odin, what's next? What's next? What's next? Instead of like, oh, you just like what you mentioned. And I feel you. I hope to that like in the future, there you go, Rowena is one of them that will come, and then maybe like more people for you will help you out. I being up 24 hours almost, right, is kind of like hard. But then that ownership, the word ownership always reverberates in my mind. It's like even our bodies, we got to take care of our own. We can't depend on other people to what will happen in our bodies. We have to make decisions for ourselves, and then the kind of life that we want to have. And then what is it gonna be for us quality wise? So how about you, Bleng? How do you get to help Odin in that situation?
Oh, then you gotta find somebody that has the same mission and vision as you. Look at us. We all have the same mission and vision, and it's easier to duplicate, right? Somebody that has a strong drive like you do. Why are you doing this? Why did you want to, why are you doing what you're doing right now? Find somebody that has that strong desire, and it's easier to duplicate, right? It's easier to find somebody that will take over your spot when you're not available, right? Because you have the same ideals and goals in life.
Dang, she just made it so simple it wasn't funny.
Right.
I mean, keep it simple, right, everybody? But you got to understand, there's some things that I know people just can't handle, can't do. I mean, I don't mind taking that work off of them. I mean, talking to the public, you know that's me. Getting things done, like negotiating things. Hey, guess what? I like being the final word on negotiations because it keeps people. I treat people fair. I treat them right. I don't treat them like they're a number. I don't treat them like they're an investment opportunity. I treat them like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna hook you up because you're worth it. That's the way I was taught. That's the way I learned. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to treat a person with kindness, fairness, and look, we all prosper regardless. But,
Right.
later on, I might get a bigger hookup. Hey, since you helped me out with this, can you help me out with this? Oh, wow. And because you did me so good, I can do double. How about that? Oh, really? Well, yeah, because I made $4.3 million off the last project we did together. Oh, really? you know? The idea that people, I don't know, maybe it's society, maybe it's just an issue that I have, but I see people not as happy and as generous as they used to be, and it's not because they fear it, or they fear the work.
Yeah.
They fear
Right.
getting their hands dirty, getting down in the trenches, starting from
But
scratch.
but success and inconvenience don't go together.
Dude, tell me.
Well, that's one of our values that we hold in our group.
I think every one of you girls know it don't go together. But the thing about it is, you can't make it, you can't force it. You just have to do it as it comes.
I stand corrected. I mean, success and convenience do not go together.
They never will
Okay.
go together.
No, they don't.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no convenience
That's
in
one of the
success
mission that
until
we
you,
have.
until you become the success.
Mhm.
And once you become the success, that's when you can bring somebody on to give you the convenience, hint, 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 so that you can take that vacation, that time away to, as they say, let your hair down and think. That's the beauty of not only owning your own, but having a solid team to work with you. And
Right.
I have to say it, this network with 3 getting ready to be 4 network individually, 4 all under one major umbrella. I have to admit, I got a good team. I got a real good team. I love every one of them. That's why I can mention every one of their names. And if I miss somebody, let me know. Because I'm sitting here watching y'all talking about it. I mean, people are doing the right thing. They're helping each other. Now, I got to find my boy, Rocky. Yeah, Rocky, yeah. I could not send it to you, but I will send you this show personally. And I know you're going to be talking to somebody. So let's get you back in shape, get you on cloud 9 again. It's because, we had a little downfall, but we're going back up, brother. And I want to make sure it's not one person, it's a we, because I'm going to be right there beside you walking up that damn mountain. And that's the thing about it. On this network, we work together, we talk together, we become family. And honestly, I want to add you two, since y'all, the last two, Emperor and Bleng, I want to add you both to the network chat so y'all three can work together with everybody in here. And also, don't be afraid to say, hey, can I go on a show? Because guess what?
Fantastic.
As people on this network, y'all are joined in with this wonderful Rowena. Yeah, you know. Rowena! Okay. Rowena! Rowena! Okay. Rowena! Oh, sorry. I was sneezing. Since y'all are partners, y'all might as well just join in too and hop on in, because you know something? What you ladies are doing is going to change the face of the world. And I want to make sure the face of the world is ready for what you are offering. And being part of us being with you, we all have that ability to reach financial independence, financial security, and a new outlook on life. Look, Bleng's got the smile on. I just love her smile. She's just like, I'm like, yeah, Bleng, you know, you my girl. I love you too. You know, I love you. You know, Emperor knows I love her. Tell me, and Rowena, you know, I love. The bottom line is, you girls know that it's the heart. It's what you're putting out, and if you're putting out that positivity, and you seeing everything else, but you're putting it out. It's like that aura, that wave of energy that comes from, as they say, the charisma. If you put it out, my God, if you put it out the right way, the right frequency towards the right people, you can open doors everywhere. And that energy is what we all have right here, sitting in this little chat thing in Zoom. It's the positive energy to help others. And I pray to God everybody takes a damn chance and contacts these, one of them, any of them, all three. Hell, make it easy. I want to put all three of them in the chat room. I'm going to let y'all know right now. And guess what? Now they have a place where people on Facebook can either direct message them or send an email to Global Enlightenment. I'll get it straight to them. I mean, shoot, after the interview I did with Rowena, I told her I'm tired of being her answering service. You remember that I was outside, I was waiting on the ride, and I said, I'm tired of being your answering service. Because they calling my phone. I mean, I'm like, listen, contact her, this email. All right, from now on, it's not going to be contact her. Here, let me link you to her on three-way. Make my life easy. Hello, Rowena's phone. I mean, yeah, answering service. Hello, my name is Rowena today. How you doing? Okay, that's how bad it was getting. I mean, I had 8 calls from that show to the next day. It was not what I was expecting. And 8, like the people say, oh, that's a small. No, it's not a small number, because there are 8 people that's going to refer you to another 8 people and another 8 people, or another 8, or maybe another 50 people, or if they got a part of the industry where they're going to promote it, man, they're going to tear it up. They're going to promote it all over the place. The bottom line is, do you want financial security?
I do.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Okay. Everybody wants it. Then guess what? Next show, y'all tell them how to get it. Because this show, y'all just basically introduced yourselves. Y'all basically sang the song, told them what about it. We had some laughs and good. These people are hungry. They want to go chapter 1, verse 1, book 1 of book 1. How do I get this? How do I get down into this system? How do I beat paying so high of taxes? What do I need to do to secure my money? Because hell, if I hit $9,000 in the bank account, I'm going to report it to the IRS, and they're going to come to my house, and they're going to jack me up against the wall and take my money from it, and I'm going to go to jail at the same time. Or I'm trying to learn how to do business. People don't. The problem with everything simply is because us humans, we don't feel comfortable communicating. That's the biggest issue. I mean, back in the old days, my mom and I used to write letters to these banks and to places, and people read the letters, and would write a response. You used to write the banking institutions, like if you had a credit card, you used to write them now you're emailing. It doesn't feel as personal. You can't feel paper in your hand. Okay, so those little changes, all right. But the bottom line is, do they really read it? Is it artificial intelligence with an unemotional attitude that's reading these documents that are coming in? There's so many questions that people question upon themselves that they do not say to other people because they are afraid to look stupid, ignorant. Well, in this industry that these ladies are in, they make it open for you to understand. They talk to you. So why are you afraid? Call them, contact them, email them. And we got literally 4 minutes left in the show, and I talk too much. I'm sorry. Ladies, yeah, y'all gonna get word. Listen, trust me. This is first show. I say by your third, fourth show, y'all wouldn't be able to shut up. Y'all gonna out-talk me. Seriously, you would not stop talking. It becomes a habit, and trust me, you're gonna be like, can we just do a show tomorrow? Why? Because I got something I gotta tell these people. How about an hour? All right, yeah, you got an hour. I don't mind doing this for people. All my hosts know it. So, I mean, that's the way I give back. I have to, because that's my heart. But for you ladies, you got 4 minutes exactly as a mark. Tell us about yourselves and where we can find you. And then we can say good night to the Philum Public Service Announcement Committee. There be.
Well, you can contact me on Facebook, Rowena Kuo. You can find me. My email, rowena.kuo.wfg@gmail.com or rowena.brimstonefiction, brimstonefiction@gmail.com. I'm on LinkedIn. You can just Google me. Also for Amper and Bleng, go ahead and say how we can contact you.
For myself, you can just type in Jocelyn Garland, and then I'll pop up on the search bar. And then I'm on LinkedIn as well. If you look me up, Jocelyn Amper Garland, in Facebook, I have my page. My page shows a lot of the small concepts that we have talked to you about today. So you'll learn a little bit there, and then I have a link there towards my website. And then feel free to message us so we can talk to you like on one-on-one, and then look at your unique situations. And there are a lot of us in our teams that we could refer you to as well.
Yeah, same here. You can type in my real name. Bleng is my nickname. My real name is Annalisa. It's Analiza. Maningas is the last name. So you can just type that in, and it'll take you to my site, and or you can search me on Facebook as well, and shoot a messenger, and that's it. Or you can call me or text me 630-386-6118. Thank you.
So we want to say, don't be Cinderella. Create your own future and live happily ever after.
There we are.
And I gotta say one thing that's totally off the record. I love this show. It's cool, and it's something that's going to be entertaining, intellectual, and it's going to be nonstop making you want to save your money. Make your money work for you. And Cowboy Bob says that maybe next week could they give us a scenario to address, such as how to manage cash flow.
Yep.
All right. Cowboy Bob's request. Cowboy Bob will most likely pop in next week and sit with you ladies and give y'all a talk, and y'all can teach him. Yeah, that's how we do it at the Global Enlightenment Radio Network. We take one, teach one. Thank you very much. Say good night, ladies.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.